Hello everyone, Silently here, and welcome back to another episode of Truly Bedrock Season 2. Today we're going to be doing a bunch of different work on the storage system at our farming area of bases, but we're starting off the episode here at the spawn town. Quite a few things have changed. I'm pretty sure I showed this before, but as you can see, we got some issues with the red particles. It appears that spawn has become a little bit of a nether biome. It's definitely not my fault for making a netherite beacon, and then all of that has nothing to do with me in the slightest. But yeah, as you can see, we got quite a bit of red particles. It even changes the sky color. It's actually kind of cool, not gonna lie. And actually, a lot of stuff has been happening around spawn as well. Zloy has been building up a ton of beautiful little buildings, just kind of filling in the backside of spawn. So we got like a YOLO clothing store. I forget what that one is. Of course, we got the post office and the Comet Library. We even got like a job tavern over here now. Of course, the courthouse is still there. Bruno's making a lovely tree. And then we got a couple other lovely buildings popping up around the area as well. So spawn is just getting kind of filled in. And that is not the point of today's episode. We are going to be hopping off to the farming area of bases. And there is the lovely farming area of bases. We've gotten a ton of work on this done in the last couple of episodes. And in today's episode, I hope to get even more of it done. So I would like to finish up the decoration of the spiral arms. And then the final thing to decorate is actually the very tops of these mob farms. We just need to put down like a pattern of slabs, and that'll be this entire huge omega base, just like completely decorated. I don't know if it's an omega base, but it's a base. It's got a few farms going on with it. Regardless of that, the actual project for today's episode is tying all of the different farms into our storage system. So of course, in the previous episode, we built up the whole storage system that is down below here. It looks like a very basic system, and in fact, it very much is, but the way that we're using it is a little bit different than normal, which allows each one of these little slices of chest to act as its own storage system. That way we can sort and store many more items per hour than we would normally. So we've done a little bit of work behind the scenes over here, and as you can see, we got some water stream spaghetti going on, and this water stream right here brings in all of the iron from the iron farms. As you can see, some just went up into there, and bam, all of that is going to go into our storage. The bamboo farms also come in through these water streams, so they come in and over, and then up above that water stream, and both of the bamboo farms are combining into this section right here. Now the thing is, we have two 48 long by 16 wide bamboo farms, and that means that we get like over 5,000 items per harvest. It's a lot of items, so we need to figure out a storage system that can handle that extreme velocity, and then we need to double it because we also have the kelp farms as well. Kind of insane, really. So as you can see here, the iron farms are actually using like wireless item transportation to auto drop all of the items straight down. They fall all the way through an ocean, and then they fall into some water streams, and all those water streams combine and go around to the northern side of the ocean monument, which is also where the storage system is located. And then we've actually set up the mob farm to do this as well. There's a teeny tiny little auto dropper on both sides of the mob farm, which auto drops items through the circle and into this water stream here. So this one comes from the mob farm. As you can see, it's not hooked up yet, and that's because this one comes from the squid farm, and both of these need to go to different locations without overlapping. And it becomes a little bit difficult to arrange that properly. So we have some brain puzzling to figure out. So this hole right here is where the mob farm needs to go in, and that water stream right there is for the squid farm. We can't really go up because, you know, that's the outside of the monument, and we can't really go down either because that's the inside of the storage system. So we're kind of very limited on space. So I need to break away this thing, and then my idea is that we will lower this water stream and just kind of make the items float across the ground there, so they'll drop off and then they'll float across and then hopefully go back up, and then we'll have another water stream like go across the top of that, but then there's not enough space up there for that to work. So maybe what we can do is we can keep that water stream there, and then we can have kind of like a little cross intersection, and I think the items will come out of there, go across it just fine. So they'll just go straight where they should, and then the items from the mob farm should go straight across to that direction. And if we put a button there, there shouldn't be any water, so it won't be, you know, moving the items. And that would be a little bit of an intersection, actually. I think that will work. So I went ahead and cleared out some of the area down here because it was nigh impossible to walk around. And I really do think that this intersection system will work. I've never done this before. I don't know how I never thought about this. You know, making water streams underwater is a little bit more difficult and annoying than you might think. This has been my life for the last hour, just like swimming around in one tall areas. So we got a little intersection for the 2 mob farms. I think all the items with that glass pane, and then they should get pushed towards us here. So this should be the final thing needed to push all of the items directly into the storage system. As you can see, we got the little crossroads right here. All the mob farm items go down there, and all the squid farm items just go straight across. And seriously, this should work perfectly fine. I see no issues with this. So let's go ahead and pretend that we are a mob farm item. We're gonna fall from the mob farm, go down through the ocean, and then fall into that water stream. And then once in the water stream, we're gonna go ahead and float through this intersection here and not be interrupted by the other water stream at all. As you can see by those glass blocks, we'll then flow along and hit that glass pane going to the left and then going to the storage system. It's a little bit hard to demonstrate, but if I drop some more items, we can see this in action. Hello, items. Hello, I'm dropping you. Where are you going? They're going out the right side of the build. They shouldn't be going over there. What are you doing, Bedrock Edition? Do you not think I'm swimming or something? What are you trying to do? I'm trying to drop items in here, not over there. Oh, jeez. Well, you see, this is why we can't have nice things. Anyway, so I dropped a whole bunch of those items into the water stream, and then we can go ahead and check the storage system, and as you can see, they are indeed flowing into the chest. So everything works, except Bedrock Edition. So that is the mob farm figured out. Now we gotta figure out how to do this kelp farm, and that is a little bit more difficult. Reason being is that the entire kelp farm item collection is kind of floating like slightly underneath of the surface of the water. So we need to figure out a way to get those items from that level downwards and then over about 60 or so blocks, because this is the southern kelp farm. And then once the items get over to this side of the build, they need to have a little bit of an output like this one for the bamboo farm. Now that right there is actually the northern kelp farm, so it's literally just like right there. We just need to send the items slightly downwards. Easy peasy on that one. Looking at that situation from above, as you can see, we can just take items off of the corner of this kelp farm and then just go down like 20 blocks straight through the floor, and bam, we are in the storage system. Easy peasy. So I think the solution for the kelp farm is to make all the water streams run into this glass pane right here, which is not waterlogged. However, we need to add a couple more glass panes going downwards, and these need to be dry and not waterlogged. That way the items can actually gain enough momentum from falling that they can go through the rest of the layers of water going downwards. So I've added some more glass panes going downwards, as you can see. However, all the items are kind of misaligned, so they're kind of missing the glass panes. But as you can see, they're still falling in that hole down there, so it technically still works, if not perfectly ideal. But I think the easiest way to fix this is to simply add some blocks to either side of these glass panes, simply to make them connect. We can test that out by breaking some of this kelp, watch that flow into the water stream, and then all of that should fall directly straight downwards. As you can see there, that is actually working really, really well. Very nice. Just swimming through some water streams, being one tall, this stuff takes a long time. It kind of feels like I'm working in a crawl space sewer. I'm extremely wet, cause water streams have water in them. I don't like being wet, because I feel wet. I need to work on my my song lyrics, don't I? So that is the southern kelp farm completed with that little item drop chute, and the water stream for this one is probably the most ridiculous one out of all of them. So it goes down, and then it goes over, and it actually goes underneath one of our quad beacons, which you can see there, and then it goes above another water stream, which is for the iron farm, the southern iron farm. So that just kind of happened to work out perfectly with the spacing. Then it goes for like 70 blocks to the north until it reaches the backside of the storage system, and we're about to meet an intersection right here which has a kelp farm? I'm not sure what's over here. I think it's a kelp farm or it's a bamboo farm. I'm actually kind of curious. This is the bamboo farm. Yeah, so that's the bamboo farm. So that's going to be spitting out like possibly 5,000 items per harvest. And then this kelp farm is also going to be spitting out like 5,000 items per harvest. So this one little button intersection right here could see like 10,000 items if we harvested 2 farms at a time. That's crazy. That's an overpowered intersection right there. So yeah, this is basically what I've been doing the entire time off camera. I've spent like 6 hours total in these one tall spaces. 6 hours! So back at the 10,000 item intersection, we have all the items from the bamboo farm going that direction, then all the items from the kelp farm are going across. They're going to hit this corner and then go across to another intersection. So all the kelp will get spit out right there, blarg, and then all the bamboo will go across and over. So that upper water stream and this lower water stream are both for kelp, and all of that is going to land basically right here. We're gonna have like 10,000 kelp per double harvest landing on this spot. Kind of crazy. So as a recap on everything that we've done so far, we have 2 kelp farm inputs right there. We got 2 bamboo farm inputs right there, and iron farm input over there. Going around to the front side of the system, we have our mob farm input over there, and our squid farm input over here. This is way more complicated than it should be. However, this is a perfect example of why you should plan things first instead of, you know, planning things after you've built everything. Also, we got some adorable slimes up there. We even got a little baby one too. I need to get another name tag. Let's grab another Soylent, and bam, we got 2 adorable Soylent slimes. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this little circular area up here, but I know it's now gonna be a slime habitat. I need to box these guys in. And bam, there you go. We got a little slime habitat. I'm so adorable. I love these guys. I hope the little baby one doesn't drown or anything. So I guess if you guys want to, you can name the slimes. Put a name in the comment section down below. Please don't call them Booger, because like they're way too cute for that. I mean, there's been some cute boogers out there in the past, but these guys are way, way cuter than any boogers that have ever existed. Anyway, look at them. They just swim around. I think they love the water. So let's get some decoration done on this base, shall we? I want to finish this stuff up. We are going to be decorating all of these spirals that we got going all the way around, and we're going to be decorating these in a similar fashion to how we've done the helixes. It just kind of makes sense to continue this pattern going upwards and outwards. So, for instance, this one right here is the reverse Oreo, and that means that this spiral right here will also be keeping the reverse Oreo kind of build palette going all the way out and wrapping around. Now, this one right here has the cookies and cream kind of build palette, so that means that the spiral to the right of us is also going to have that same cookies and cream palette. Just kind of connecting it all together. So it should be looking pretty good. So enjoy the nice little time lapse. Hopefully it looks good. Again, the computer's getting a wee bit old to handle, like, you know, hours and hours and hours of this kind of footage. But hopefully it turns out well for you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And let's hop right into some building. Another time lapse down, and a lot of work has been done on the upper base. It's honestly starting to look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Look at them there, spirals. Honestly, it ties it together pretty well. I like the scale of the build. If you look at the actual spirals themselves and just like pay attention to only them, then let's be honest, they don't really look that good. It's not really anything particularly special. We tried out a bunch of different ways to build these, and and this was the best thing that was really going to meet with the pattern that we've already established in the rest of the base. We got a bunch of fish jumping around. I think the fish like it. Anyway, if we actually look at the base as a whole and don't pay attention to the specific details of the spirals, then I think it looks really, really good, and I'm quite happy with how it has turned out. Of course, there's a few small bits here and there that need to be finished up and tidied, but overall, this entire base project has turned out pretty well, and I feel like we're about 98% done with it. I really like it so far. Of course, let me know your thoughts to it. We still have a couple more episodes to make on this project, so let me know what you think we should change, and it might get done before we wrap this thing up. So the main last project that we really need to wrap up is just building a floor in here, fixing up the walls, maybe decorating some of the ceiling, and then finishing up the last final touches of the storage system. Not really that much more to do, so if you got suggestions, get them in before we wrap this up. And with that being said, that is going to do it for today's episode of Truly Bedrock Season 2. Thank you ever so much for watching. I truly do appreciate your support on the series, and I hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, then of course make sure to leave a like on the video, possibly subscribe so that you don't miss future episodes, and I'll see you guys down in the comment section and in the next one. And then there was silence.